name is Ray Torres, one half of the Twin Black Dragons, the Black Dragons Dojo of New Jersey, on the Grandmaster G.J. Torres. Now, what can I say about Grandmaster Jerry Fast Feet Fontanez that I haven't been saying throughout the last few years? Me and Master Fontanez don't go back 25, 30 years as friends. That's one thing that may be a little bit different between my testimonial and others. I've been trying to film this testimonial, and it's been 20, 30 minutes long, so I'm going to try to keep it shorter than that. I first met Master Fontanez in person in 2011 when I came outside of my dojo in Red Bank, New Jersey, and he just happened to be there. Now, we spoke prior to that on MySpace for a period of time, but never met in person until 2011. Now, as far as my knowledge is about Master Fontanez, goes back further. I started in 1984. I started competing in 1986. And around the early 90s, my father was very big about not staying in your own sandbox. You traveled wherever he sent us that weekend, whether it was to Philly, North Jersey, to Elizabeth, Newark, Irvington, the Oranges, or New York, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens. And Master Fontanez was a prominent figure, at least in that area, during that time. I think he had a dojo in almost every borough, probably for exception of Staten Island. So early 90s, I don't know if it was Roberto Clemente Park in the Bronx. I can't remember exactly which tournament it was, but I remember seeing him come in with a group of students and a crowd, and I mean it was just kind of electric because, you know, he was like the Pied Piper, leading that group into competition. They were loud, and you know they made noise, and to see him like dancing, popping, locking, a little bit of boogaloo before a match, fighting in tremendous condition and exciting competition, and then getting the crowd going as he left. You know, back then spectators were packing those bleachers. Nowadays, it doesn't look like it's anywhere near the same. Now, what can I say about him as far as his character is concerned? You know, a lot of people, I think, misunderstand his energy for something different. Some people say he's crazy. Some people say he must be on something. This is a person I've spent many, many days, many hours with speaking to, and his attitude is always the same. He's always full of energy. He's always about motivating and pushing people to their limits and even further. At least in this last 8 years, everything I've seen him do was to, whether it was to redeem himself from past misadventures or to prove people wrong, which is one of the characteristics that I really appreciate seeing. To see him prove people wrong when he says that he's bringing back the rec suits, and he brought them back when people said it wasn't going to work. When he's out of shape and going into competitions and is still taking first place in competition, even with so many years separating from competing. I look forward to seeing what he has in store next. This is a friend of mine, more like family. I've gained a lot of respect for him. A couple things that I have to note that he did teach me. Let's not get it twisted. My father's my instructor, but Master Fontanez taught me the proper way to do a dive bomb. He's the one that also taught me the blitz, the four types of blitzes, the leg lockouts for the ground. Some things that are part of his fighting curriculum, and I use them, and I also teach him. And if it works, it works. So I definitely got to give him props for a lot of things he taught me as far as that's concerned. Then with marketing and business and the motivation and that discipline to put in that work as far as business is concerned, that's another thing that he showed me, and it's something that I appreciate a lot. One thing he would say a lot is, if your life is worth documenting, do it. So he has films and pictures and many different things from back in the day, because I think he still had the same mindset he had then, as he has now. That people can't make up stories or deny things once it's documented. And I think he got that quote from a show or a movie where he says, stop telling lies about me and I won't tell the truth about you. Hopefully, throughout this documentary, he's able to give everybody a crystal clear understanding of what it is that he has done and continues to do. And who knows, it might hurt some feelings along the way by telling some truths about other people. But most respect and most definitely one of my guys. As always, I say love and peace, and he says ABC. So take them both. See you when I see you.